Hello everyone, Johnny here. Welcome to the first series of JavaScript. In our first session, we will learn about the fundamentals like creating a script tag, running in the browser, type of scripts like internal and external, variable declarations, the scope of these variables, that is a global, block, and a hoisting. In this basic first series of your tutorial, we will learn about what is the agenda of learning this JavaScript, like what is the main use of using this JavaScript in the web applications. According to the Stack Overflow survey, JavaScript is one of the most popular scripting language. It is a cross-platform language, object-oriented based scripting language. It is used almost in all the browsers. For example, we call this as a client-side language. It means we can execute this code in the computer browser. Each browser will have its own engine. Like Chrome will have V8, Firefox has SpiderMonkey. JS, that is JavaScript, doesn't exist only for a front end. We can use the JavaScript from backend to frontend. That is, we can use a MongoDB, which is used to store the data in the form of a JSON, that is a key and value pair. We can also use for creating this backend application, where Node.js is a popular choice for building this scalable network applications, and we can also use for the client side, like we can use the framework like Angular, JS, React, and Vue. Most trending frameworks for creating the web applications. Apart from this, we can also use for the testings like Moksha, Jasmine, Jest, and the task runners like Grunt and Gulp. And this is a complete set of frameworks and the libraries which are based upon this JavaScript. So now you can understand, like JavaScript is one of the most popular trending scripting language which is used to develop these applications. It is not only used to develop a static web application, we can also use to make dynamic web applications. Coming to the history of this JavaScript, it is developed in 1995 by Brendan Eich. Like it will used to support all the browsers, and it was named as ECMAScript in initial days. Later, it is named to JavaScript. It has almost all the libraries like jQuery, like all the libraries and the frameworks like Backbone, Ember.js, Node.js, AngularJS, and the recent one is React.js. Like all the frameworks. We have so many frameworks based upon it, so many plugins developed using this JavaScript. It is not only used to develop small applications, it can also be used to develop interactive web pages for this HTML and CSS coded web pages. It means it is not only used to it is used to enhance the functionality of the web pages. It like validating a form, creating interactive maps, displaying animated charts, and so on. In order to develop or write this code, we can use any of the code editor. Like let me choose one of the editor. Here I am trying to use a Sublime Text. You can use any of the editor based upon your comfortness, like based upon your interest. You can choose any of the editor. If you don't have any resource also, you can just use a notepad which is available in your system. We can just use a notepad where we can type this JavaScript code. We just need a browser and a notepad. Why do we use this code editors? Generally we use this code editors. For example, here I am using Sublime Text just to simplify and speed up the typing. That is, this editors provides like syntax highlighting, indentation, auto completeness, like matching the braces. All these things can be done using this editors. So I am trying to use one of the editor, that is Sublime Text. There are so many code editors like Visual Studio, which is very popular. Like If you just don't need to type all the snippet, if you just type /tab, then you will get the complete snippet. If you can use the shortcut keys, you will get the complete snippet of this code. Next, you can also use Notepad++, brackets, Dreamweaver, whatever the editor you are comfortable with, brackets also. So this JavaScript code always runs in the client browser. It means, see here, sorry for this, whenever I'm trying to open my browser, it will run in this browser part. So in this browser part, so let us see how we can code this part in JavaScript. So here I'm trying to make sure, once again I'm just trying to delete the folder which has been done in the previous sessions. Okay, now this is a basic file, as you are aware of this HTML file, and in this we have a web tools which allows us to debug and the JavaScript code. For example, whenever I'm trying to click on this browser, you can just click on inspect button, or you can press F12. I'm trying to press F12 here, so automatically you will get something like this console where the log messages will be displayed, like warning, error, time, and what are the functions you have been using. It will try to display it here. You can just use it. This JavaScript can be placed in two ways. It means we can use the script part in two ways. First one is inline, next one is external. It means first one is inline in the sense internal, where it can be used in the same page, or next it can be also used in the external, I mean creating a new file. Similarly, how we do in the CSS part, like linking the internal CSS or external CSS, in the same way we can use for JavaScript. If I want to embed this in the two ways, so first let us start with the first part. So you might get it out why I'm trying to use this within the same page. So whenever you have a small code or small snippet, it is better to use within the same page. But whenever your code is being using across multiple pages, it is recommended to place in a separate file, and there we can link in that particular page. So let me check for the first internal CSS. First one I'm trying to write console.log of hello. In this console.log of hello, I'm trying to write console.log of hello. It will try to print the log message in the browser. Let us see how it echoes, how it displays. I'm trying to click on inspect, or you can press F12. You can just press F12 or inspect or shortcut, you will get this snippet. So let me save this file and let me refresh it. You got it, hello, in the line number 10. So you can see whenever it is trying to display the message, it will show the corresponding line where it is able to execute. So we use the script tag. We call this as a tag where it is used to define the client side script of JavaScript. If you don't want to write a script in this same page, you can write in the separate page also. You might get it out. In most of the codes in the browser or in anywhere in the internet, you will find the snippet inside the body, you will find the snippet inside the head. But it is always recommended to use after the body tag. We should always use the script tag after the body tag. Why we need to use after the body tag? Because whenever you are trying to load the page, once the DOM has been completely rendered, in the sense the HTML part has been completely rendered, then we can use this script tag. It is the most recommended way of using this. So I got hello here. So can I use external JavaScript now? Yes. See, for example, if I want to use external JavaScript, I am trying to use Control N, new file, Control S, and I am trying to create a new folder. Is it recommended to create a new folder? No. For example, as I have only two files here, it is very easy to understand, like this is a JS file and this is a HTML file. Make sure whenever you are trying to save your JS file, you should save it as .js. External file should be saved as .js. In this I am trying to write console.log hello Johnny. In this I am trying to write console.log hello Johnny. So let us check the output. No, we won't get any output now. How do I insert this in this HTML page? In this we have something called script tag. open, and script tag close. Yes, it is the same tag what we have written earlier. Here we need to use an attribute called src. src indicates source. src equal the folder name. What is my folder name here? JS. For example, if your folder name is ABC or something, you just need to same the same folder name here, JS, and I'm trying to write abc.js here. So whenever I'm trying to echo this file, can you see here hello Johnny? We can call the first one as internal JavaScript and next one as external JavaScript. This external JavaScript is represented, we can use this using an attribute called src. src ka meaning source. Now we have been understanding like where we need to place the script part. Always we need to place the script part after body tag. After the body tag we need to place it. So we also have an attributes like async, differ, all these things. Like it will we will try to discuss in the further sessions why we use async, differ also. What is the use of using internal JavaScript? Internal JavaScript is used when we have very less number of lines and which is used in the single file. But whenever you are trying to use, when we need to use external JavaScript, we should use external JavaScript when we have more number of lines and the same snippet is used across multiple pages. When, for example, day1.html, we are trying to use it here. For example, day 100 file is also there. In that file also we need the same JavaScript. What you will do, you just need to copy these two lines and paste it out after the body tag. Why we place it after the body tag? We place it after the body tag because once the web page has been loaded, that is, once the complete HTML document has been loaded, it is better to interact with the DOM. You got it right? What I mean to say, once the HTML DOM has been completely loaded, we can ensure that it is very good to interact with this each and every DOM element, that is the particular HTML elements, so that we will be including this script part after the body tag. In HTML5, any earlier versions we used to write script type also. This is an one attribute, right? src. In the similar way, we also have an attribute called type equals to. Type equals to text / JavaScript. But no one is using it now, like it is deprecated in the sense it is removed out, like by default we will get it. No need to specify it separately. See, for example, have two lines of code. First one is hello and next one is hello Johnny. Now I want to make sure I don't want to display these things in the console log, that is here in the log message I don't want to display line number 10 and this is in the line number 1. What I need to write, just in order to make sure this code should not work, we can use something called comments. Here we can call this one as a HTML comments. These are called HTML comments. For example, see, I'm just trying to remove this part and I just don't want to display this part. I don't want to display this snippet. We call this one as a single line comments. See here, once I remove this snippet, again we will get the same output. But is this the same use why we are using comments? No. Comments are used to perform the readability of a code. It means if I want to understand, for example, I am not able to understand what you are telling, so I am just trying to make sure in best way of learning, like I want to make sure that you will understand it very well. I am just trying to write the comment here. It is used to, console is used to log output in browser, so that the user who is trying to listen this video will understand it. Like for example, you are trying to listen this video and you are unable to understand what is console.log. If I put in the comments, it gives us more readability of the snippet, more readability of the statement. So for example, I am trying to write again console.log Johnny. If I'm trying to check the snippet of this, see here we have two statements. So do I need to place for every line I need to place these two forward slashes? No. If I want to place for a single line, we can use two forward slashes. But if I want to place for the multiple lines, we can use something called, we can also use something called, sorry for this. We can just select this and you can write Control Shift Tab, or else Control plus Shift plus Tab, Control Shift and Tab. If you use these three things, you will get everything in the same way. Like, or else let me write, as this is the first time, let me type it manually. Forward slash star forward slash. See here, now this code will not be ignored, in the sense it just thinks it has a comment, like it is used to highlight some text, it is used for readability purpose. We can use these comments. So these comments are used in two ways. First one is single line comments. It is one of the best practice to use comments in your coding. Whatever you write, a small snippet or a big snippet, better to use comments. It allows the viewer or a coder or a developer or a teammate to understand what you are trying to do, what you are trying to write in the particular statement or a line. Now, as we have learned about how to create a small snippet like hello world in console.log in the script tag, and one thing in the external part. Next we have understood about what is the comments, and next one multi-line comments, and we have understood console.log. In all the browsers it will try to echo the output. It is used to display something message in this web console. We also have something called document.write. We will try to discuss in the further sessions. Now, is JavaScript a case sensitive language? Yes, JavaScript is a case sensitive. It means it is not same. A and A is not same. Whenever you are trying to write a capital A and somewhere you are trying to write a small a, it is not the same. We can call JavaScript as a case sensitive language. It means everything, the variables, the function names, class names, operators, are everything case sensitive. Let us look at the first part of this JavaScript, identifiers. Like similar any other languages, this identifier has the rules like capital A to Z, small a to Z, 0 to 9, and underscore or dollar. Always make sure whenever you are trying to use, always it should start with dollar or underscore, or capital A to Z or small a to Z. It should never start with a number. So these are all the characters which we are trying to use. We can call the identifiers can be denoted using this set of characters: capital A to Z, small a to Z, dollar, and underscore. Now in this JavaScript, if I want to declare some variables, I have discussed like identifiers are the names for the functions, variables, objects, and all these things. Here first let us understand what is var, let, and const. Like in any other programming language, we used to have something called data types. Here we don't have any data types, in the sense we don't represent the data type there. We represent the variable using these keywords like var, let, or constant. Var, let, and constant. Var is the keyword that is used in the previous versions like ES5 and the earlier versions, whereas let and the constant is used in the latest versions of JavaScript, that is ES6. So let us write the three snippets. How do you write a variable in JavaScript? Var a equals to 10. I have written var a equals to 10 console.log a. If you can see this, what is the output of the snippet? Let me refresh this. You got 10. You got the use of var now. Now can I write the same thing for let? Let b sorry for this, I'm trying to write 30 console.log of b. So what will be the output of the snippet now? See here, I'm trying to declare the variable. First keyword I'm trying to use is var. The variable name is a, and we are trying to assign some value to it. So var a equal to 10 means a will have a value of 10, and we are trying to echo this in this browser console. Next one, let is a keyword which is used to define another way. Like we can also create a variable declaration using let also. What is the variable name here? B. We are trying to assign the value 30 to it. Console.log of b, it means we got an output as 30. Line number 24, here line number 24. Now we understood how to declare the values. Now let us see, this is a common way of learning, we declaring the variables and all. Now let us see, for example, I'm trying to write console.log. What happens if I write c? I have written c here, and I'm trying to write variable c equal to 10, or else variable c equals to 10. Now let us see what will be the output of the snippet. F5. Can you see something here? Yes. Always remember, whenever you are trying to create a variable, whenever you are trying to use it before the definition, it will always return undefined. For var, it will try to define undefined. Whenever you use var keyword after the usage, then we will get undefined. Let us see the same thing for let d equals to 30. I'm trying to use let d equals to 30 now. See here, we are trying to call before the definition itself. So it is trying to define, it is trying to give undefined. It means it will not read the value of it. Now I'm trying to use let keyword now. If I'm trying to use the same thing before the definition, what it is trying to echo, what it will try to echo here, what it will try to display, let us see now. See here, uncaught reference error, cannot access d before initialization. It means it will try to return as error. Sorry, I have written it here, right? Let me write it. It will try to return as undefined. See, for the first statement it is trying to give 10, next statement 30, but whenever I am trying to use for var, it will try to return as undefined. So these are the basic snippets which will be asked in the interview, like what is the default data type. We need to say undefined is the default data type, in the sense default value for the variables. So here undefined. So here whenever you are trying to use for let, we cannot use the value after, that is before the definition itself. So it will try to return as error. For example, how we can tell a block of code. Anything which is enclosed between these two curly braces, we call it as a block of code. Anything which is enclosed between these two curly braces, like if I enclose everything between these two curly braces, we call it as a block. Now let us see how this var and let will behave inside a block of code. How this var and let will try to behave inside the block of code. See, as I have told, it is a block of snippet where I am trying to use var f equal to 1, f equal to 3, and I am trying to declare it. See here, again I am trying to declare as 1 or 2. In the block of code I am trying to declare. After this block of snippet I am trying to access it. So if you can see here, so let me put this in the comments, so it is blocking us. So I'm trying to use this block of snippet using var, and I'm trying to access it. So what will be the output of the snippet? See, it is 1 or 2. See, whenever you are trying to use inside a block using a var keyword, we can access the value. It means we can redefine it. And we can reassign also. We are trying to redefine and we can reassign. For example, I am trying to take the same snippet for let. Let us take the same thing for let y equals to 1 y equals to 3 and I'm trying to write let y equals to 40, sorry, something like 60. I'm trying to use it. I'm trying to access it now. Let us see what you will get. This is a block of code. Anything enclosed between curly braces and everything, we call it as a block of code. We call this one as a statement, general line. We no need to place semicolon also. In JavaScript we have automatic semicolon insertion. It means if you don't place semicolon also, it will automatically place itself, like it will be by default assigned to it every statement. Now let us see what will the snippet will get. Can you see here, identifier y has been already declared. So whenever you are trying to use for using where you will get the output. We can redefine it and reassign it. Redefine, reassign is possible here. Whereas for the let we cannot redeclare, that is redefine it. We cannot redefine it. First use case was normal declarations. Next use case is before the using. If we are trying to use it before itself, for var we will get undefined, for let we will get reference error. Whereas for this redefining the variable, in the sense again we are trying to define the variable. So what happens, var will not give us any error, it will try to display the output. Whereas for the let, it will try to display the error saying that identifier y has been already declared. Y has been already declared. So let me put this in the comments. Control Shift Tab, the comments. Now you got this like var and let difference. Let us see one more difference. For example, see here, I am trying to access. Generally we call this browser as a window. In JavaScript we generally call this browser as a window. Assume it like this browser as a window, and whatever we write in this white space we call it as a document. Now I am trying to declare two variables here. Variable a equal to hi, variable b equals to Johnny. Now in this console.log window.a we got hi. It means in this window we can access this. Sorry, I have declared with var. So we are trying to differentiate between var and let, right? So let me write let here. So we can access it. It means var will have a global scope, in the sense we can access it from anywhere. Now if I am trying to use the same thing for let me write the same thing for let. Window means the complete browser dot b. Let us see what would be the snippet of this. See, we got undefined. It means we don't have access for the globally for let keyword. For the let keyword we cannot access it globally, whereas for the var keyword we can access it globally. In the sense the global values, the global scope for var is defined. In the sense we will get the same value what we have assigned. For the let we will not get any output, we will simply get it as undefined. I am trying to place this in comments. Now is there any other difference where this var and let can also be used? See, we have one more important thing, that is strict mode. Strict mode means without declaring the variable we cannot use it. For example, in our previous examples we have used a variable without declaring it, but now without declaring we cannot use it. It means, see here, I am trying to write use strict. Whenever you are trying to use this, use strict a equal to 10 console.log of a. See here what happens, a is not defined. It means, see, for example, let me put this in the comments. Generally what will be the output of this? We got 10. See, we haven't declared any keyword, we haven't declared var, we haven't declared let also, but even we got output. But whenever I am trying to use strict, it means definitely we need to declare some keyword here. I am declaring var. See now, so whenever you are trying to use strt, use strt, we should always declare the variable var or let. Now see here, I'm trying to use the same thing. Let me write var a equal to 20. What will be the output of the embed? See, we got reassign. Let us check the same thing for let now. Let n equal to 100. Let n equal to let me write 200. Console.log of n. So what will be the output of this input? See here, whenever you are, for example, if I don't write use strt, what happens here? You got the same thing. So whenever you are trying to use strt, we should always declare it before using. But whenever you are trying to use for the let keyword, we should always make sure it should not be used multiple times, as we have used in the earlier snippet. So you got the same error. 100, sorry for this. Yes, we got the answer as 20 and 100. 20 and 100. Now see, the last keyword is constant. const. Const. What is the use of constant keyword? Can I use constant without declaring it? Can I write like this? Let me put everything in this comment, Control Shift tab. Can I put something like this for constant? No, because we should always declare the value of this variable. See here, missing initialization in the constant declaration. It means we should always, constant in the sense what? The value will not change. For example, 3.14. So this value will not be changed. So constant is a keyword, which means the value should be assigned while declaration itself. So mostly the let and constant will have the similar properties. So can we summarize the points what we have learned in this session now? Control Shift tab. So these are the things which we have been understanding, like what is the main use of these points, like writing a basic hello world program. Like we have started with what are the list operators. If we learn JavaScript, what is the main advantage of learning the frameworks, libraries, and from backend to frontend, what are the frameworks we can learn. We were trying to understand about internal and external JavaScript, the browser, the console.log, and declarations var, let, and constant. We are trying to use the var and let for a particular block also, like particular block. And we are trying to use the hoisting, like if you are trying to reuse it before itself, what happens. So this is the very basic session first we have started with, so that once you get familiar to this, so that we can move on to the next concepts. So this is how we have started with the first session of this JavaScript. So let us summarize the points what we have learned in this session. So these are the complete agenda, like console.log, identifiers, var, let, and constant, block, the global scope, use strt, constant declaration, and what are the list of editors, and all these things. So before winding up this session, we will try to solve the basic questions related to this session. Like we have collected around 20 to 30 questions, so that you will understand what we have learned in this part. So every end of the session you will have interview questions like basic coding skills, so that you will understand like what we have written. And we have missed one more point. For example in the console also, for example, whenever you are trying to write, we will have these messages also, like console.log, we have discussed console.var hello. It means we will try to get an hello colored message. Console.error. See here, console.1 will try to give us a yellow colored message, where console.error will try to give us a red color message. So if you have understood this basic session, now we will try to look into the questions snippets where we will get much clarity on it, like what did we learn in this session. First one, this is the first question of this series. What are the following, which of the following are the valid comments in JS? If you can answer it, you can just comment below this video. The answer would be the first, A and B. The answer would be heart. Next one, console.log, console.warn Johnny, it's a warning. So error, it will try to display error message, a warning message in the console, or no output. It will try to display the warning message. Next one, console.log, sorry for this, console.error Johnny, it's an error. It will try to display the red color message what we have seen just now. It will try to display error message. It will be the option A, the heart shape. Next one, let us look into the next question. See here we have next snippet where A equal to 10, console.log A equal to 20. What is the variable declaration we have used here? Where what is the variable name? A, the value assigned is 10 and we are trying to reassign it. So is it possible with var? Yes. So the answer would be 20 here. Now we have other snippet here where A equal to 10, where B equal to A equal to 20. It means the value of A is 20 and the value of B is also 20. So console.log of A plus B, the answer would be a 40 here. The answer would be a like symbol. Next one, we have two things here. Can you see where A equal to 10, where B equal to 20? We have two variables. We can call this A and B as identifiers also, or variable names, 10 and 20. So the output of this snippet would be, when we are trying to use this curly braces, it means we are trying to echo the multiple variable values here. So answer would be 10 and 20. If you have any errors in this, if you are unable to understand, you can just comment below this video. Next one, constant C. Can we use the variable declaration without assigning the value of constant? No, because whenever you are trying to use constant, we should definitely assign some value. So the answer would be error here. Next one, where variable m, console.log of m, console.log of c. See, whenever you don't have any value to this variable, we will get the error as, the output as undefined. What is the default data type for JavaScript? Undefined. In the next sessions we will try to learn about these data types. Console.log of m, the answer would be undefined. Whereas for console.log of c, is there any variable c here? No. So we will get answer as reference error. The answer is the first option. Next one, constant p equal to 3.14. Again I am trying to use p is equals to 4.1. Can I reassign the value of a constant variable? No. So the answer would be a typo error. We will get a typo error. Most of the people will understand that it has a reference error, but it is a type error. Next one, console.log of c, variable c equal to 200. So what will be the output of the snippet? Just comment it out. Let's see. Next one, variable a equal to aware a let. Whenever you are trying to use for variable, we will get as undefined. For the let, we will get as a reference error. So answer would be heart. Next one, again I am trying to use the same thing. Constant name equal to John, name equal to Johnny, console.log of name. The answer would be an assignment error here. It means we cannot assign the same value, the different value, to the constant variable. Next one, what is this block? We have discussed. For the let keyword we have used, and for var keyword we have used. Can we access the let keyword value? No. So we'll get no output, in the sense empty space, and the second output would be a Johnny. The answer is option A. Next one, where a, console.log of c, counter equals to 10. See, there is no way related to this counter and c here. Simply we will get an answer as undefined. Next one, uselet. So can we use this variable without declaring it, without using var or let? No. So we will get an error here. So we should always declare, whenever you are trying to use useState, we should always declare the variable. Next one, we have two values here, two variables, num1, num2. Again num1 has been replaced with 30, which is inside a block. It means let will have the block scope, where will have the global scope. So the answer for this block would be, first block would be 50, and the next block would be, first block would be a 50 and next block would be a 30. So answer is 50 and 30. Sorry for this. Next, so this is how we have done with the part, this today's session. Like, let us have a glance, like what did we learn in this session. You can just check this video. As this is the first session, we will wind up it, and then the later part, tomorrow we will try to learn about the data types and all, with an examples like this, so that you will understand what did we learn from this session. You can just try to answer these questions. You can share with your friends, colleagues. Take a screen. You can just have a screenshot of it, and you can just understand what is the basic things. So these are the basic snippets of JavaScript, basic statements, we can say, not as snippets, basic statements, so that once you understand all these things, you can master how to write the code. At the end of all the sessions, we will try to implement some projects based on this code. This is mainly focused for the beginners who are not aware of programming part, so that they can understand each and every line of the snippets. So if you have any queries also, you can just drop us the mail in the below given in the description part, or you can comment it. So this is how the first session ends. So let us stop it here, and in the upcoming session tomorrow we will try to learn about the data types and the next session part, not tomorrow, like next session part. Okay, thank you.